Captain Daeho Park stood tall as the airlock door opened. His dark uniform was clean and pressed. The Earth emblem shone on his chest. This meeting would change history, he thought. First official contact between humans and the Navorian Confederacy. "Remember," he said to his small team, "we are here for peace." 3 people stood behind him. Jiwoo Kim handled communications. She carried a translator device. Tae-hee Lee was the medical officer. He brought medicines to show human goodwill. Hanbin Choi was security. His job was to protect the team, but he hoped he would not need to. Hanbin checked his sidearm one last time. It was set to stun, as ordered. "Ready, Captain," he said. The space station Outpost 47 was old. Its walls were gray metal with strange marks. The air smelled different than Earth ships. Not bad, just alien. "The Navorians have controlled this part of space for 2,000 years, Jiwoo whispered. 7 species working together. Daeho nodded. "And they worry about us? Humans have moved into space too quickly for their comfort." The corridor opened into a large round room. 5 aliens waited there. They stood on 4 legs each. Their skin was blue-gray. They had 3 arms with 4 fingers on each hand. Their faces had 2 large eyes that did not blink. The tallest alien stepped forward. "I am Lieutenant Commander Krell of the Navorian Defense Force," he said through his translator. His voice sounded like metal on stone. "We accept your request for talks." Daeho bowed slightly. "Thank you for meeting us. I am Captain Daeho Park of Earth's Interstellar Defense Force. We come in peace and friendship." Krell did not bow back. "Your species moves too fast. In 100 years you went from basic flight to faster-than-light travel. This is not normal." "Humans adapt quickly," Daeho said with a smile. "We hope to learn from your experience and wisdom." The alien's eyes narrowed. "You bring weapons to a peace talk?" Hanbin touched his stunner. "Standard security protocol. It cannot kill, only stun." "Show me," Krell demanded. Daeho nodded at Hanbin. "It's okay, show them." Hanbin slowly took out his weapon. He held it flat on his palm to show it was not a threat. "See? The power is set to..." Krell moved faster than anyone expected. He pulled out his own weapon and fired. A burst of blue energy hit Hanbin in the chest. The human security officer fell backward. Blood spread across his uniform. Hanbin. Tae-hee rushed forward but stopped when another Navorian pointed a weapon at him. "Stay where you are," Krell said. His voice was cold. "Your security officer moved to attack me." "That's not true," Jiwoo shouted. "He was showing you the weapon." As requested, Daeho's face went white with shock. "This is a diplomatic mission. You just violated every rule of..." "Silence," Krell ordered. "We have watched your kind. Humans are dangerous. You fight among yourselves. You destroy your own planet. And now you want to spread into our space." He waved his weapon. "The 3 of you will come with us. We have questions." 2 Navorians grabbed Jiwoo and Tae-hee. A third took Daeho by the arm. They were marched away from the meeting room. Daeho looked back at Hanbin lying on the floor. "He needs medical help." "Your kind dies easily," Krell said. He stood over Hanbin, watching with cold interest as blood pooled around the human's body. "Our weapons are made to kill quickly. He will be dead in minutes." As they were led away, Daeho pressed his thumb against his wrist. A small device under his skin sent an emergency signal. Help would come, but would it be in time? In the empty meeting room, Krell continued to watch Hanbin bleed. The human's chest barely moved. His skin grew pale. The Navorian had seen many species die. Humans seemed no different. Krell took out a small device and recorded a message. "High Command. This is Lieutenant Commander Krell. The humans attempted violence during our peaceful meeting. I was forced to neutralize one of them. The others are being held for questioning. I recommend we use this incident to show other species the consequence of challenging the Confederacy." He sent the message, then looked down at Hanbin again. The human's eyes were closed, his chest no longer moved. Satisfied, Krell turned to leave. "Take this body to storage," he ordered 2 junior officers. "We will study it later." The junior officers approached Han Bin's body carefully. One poked it with a foot. "He's dead, right?" the younger one asked. "Of course," said the other. "No. Species survives a direct hit from our weapons." They picked up Han Bin and carried him away. They did not handle him gently. Dead things deserve no respect, especially dead enemies. They took him to a small cold room used for storing biological samples and dropped him on a metal table. "Humans are heavier than they look," one complained as they left, locking the door behind them. The room was silent for 10 minutes. Then, 15. At 20 minutes, something impossible happened. Han Bin's finger twitched. His chest rose slightly, then fell. Rose again. A soft, wet sound came from the wound as something moved inside it. Aboard the Earthship Dauntless, hidden behind a small moon, Major Sung-Min Kang received an alert. He looked at the datapad in his hand and frowned. "Captain Park's team is in trouble," he announced to his crew. "Emergency signal activated." Lieutenant Ji Eun-yoon looked up from her station. "Hostile action?" "Yes. And one life sign is critical." Sung-min's face hardened. "Han Bin Choi, he's a Reaper," someone said. "He can handle himself." "Not against unknown alien weapons," Ji-eun replied. "We need to move." Sung-min nodded. "Prepare for stealth approach. Full combat gear." He looked at the 5 people around him. Each wore the same small mark on their wrists, a stylized scythe, the symbol of Project Reaper. "If they hurt our people," he said quietly, "they'll learn why humans are the most dangerous species in the galaxy." Back in the cold storage room on Outpost 47, Han Bin's eyes snapped open. They glowed slightly in the darkness. His wound still bled, but slower now. Something was changing inside his body. Lieutenant Commander Krell had made a terrible mistake. He shot a human and watched him bleed out, but he didn't make sure the human stayed dead. And now, backup was coming. Major Sung-Min Kang moved with purpose on the bridge of the Dauntless, his dark eyes fixed on the space station that held his fellow humans. The station looked peaceful from outside, but he knew better. Inside those walls, Captain Park and his team were in danger. "Status report," he ordered. Lieutenant Ji Eun-yoon looked up from her screen. "Captain Park's signal is still active. He's alive but not moving much. Medical Officer Tae-hee and Communications Officer Ji-woo are with him. Their life signs are stable." "And Han Bin?" Sung-min asked quietly. Ji-yoon's face showed worry. "His signal was weak, but is getting stronger. His body is fighting back." Sung-min nodded. That was good news. Han Bin was one of the best Reapers in the program. If anyone could survive a direct hit from an alien weapon, it was him. "Prepare the team for insertion," he ordered. "We move in 30 minutes." As the team prepared, Sung-min's mind went back 20 years. He remembered the day he learned about Project Reaper. It was after the First Contact War. Humans had met their first aliens, a race called the Drell. The meeting went badly. The Drell saw humans as easy targets and attacked Earth without warning. They did not expect humans to fight back so hard. Humans won that war, but at great cost. Military leaders realized something important. Humans were physically weaker than many alien species, but they had one unique advantage. Humans could adapt faster than any other known species. "Major?" Ji-eun's voice pulled him back to the present. "The team is ready for briefing." In the ship's conference room, 5 people sat around a table. All wore black combat suits with minimal markings. All had the small scythe symbol on their wrists. All were Reapers. "Our mission is simple," Sung-min said. "Get in, find our people, get out." Captain Park's team was attacked during a peace talk. One of our own, Han Bin Choi, was shot and is in critical condition. "The aliens think he's dead," Ji-eun added. "They don't know what a Reaper can survive." A soldier named Min-ho raised his hand. "What are we facing?" "Navorians," Sung-min said. 4 legs, 3 arms, blue-gray skin. They've controlled this sector for thousands of years. Their weapons fire energy pulses that cause major internal damage. "Nothing we haven't handled before," said another Reaper named June. "Don't get overconfident," Sung-min warned. "Remember your training, remember what you are." They all nodded. They knew what they were. They were Project Reaper's success stories. After the first contact war, Earth scientists studied why humans could adapt so quickly. They found something amazing. Human DNA had hidden abilities. Under extreme stress, it could change to help the body survive. This was why humans lived in so many different places on Earth. Hot deserts, cold mountains, wet jungles. Humans adapted to all of them. Project Reaper took this natural ability and made it stronger. Special drugs, gene therapy, and training created soldiers who could adapt faster than normal humans. Reapers could survive wounds that would kill others. They could heal faster, fight longer, and adapt to almost any environment. Sungmin himself could hold his breath for 20 minutes. His body used oxygen more efficiently than any other human. Jiun could shut off pain in any part of her body. She once fought for 2 hours with a broken arm without slowing down. And Hanbin? He had the strongest healing ability of all Reapers. His body could repair massive damage if given enough time. The Navorians don't know about Reapers, Sungmin told his team. Let's keep our advantage. Meanwhile, in the cold storage room on Outpost 47, Hanbin fought for his life. The energy weapon had burned through his chest, damaging his lung and heart. A normal human would be dead. Even a Reaper might die from such a wound. But Hanbin was not giving up. Inside his body, enhanced cells worked overtime. They clotted blood, repaired tissue, and fought infection. His damaged heart beat weakly but steadily. His one good lung pulled in enough oxygen to keep his brain working. Hanbin opened his eyes. The room was dark and cold. He was alone. Lying on a metal table, he slowly moved his fingers, then his hand. Pain shot through his body, but he pushed it away. Pain was just information. It could be ignored. With great effort, he turned his head. The room was small, with shelves holding containers of various sizes. A storage room, maybe for biological samples. They had put him here because they thought he was dead. Hanbin tried to speak but could only manage a whisper. Not dead yet. His hand moved to his chest. The wound was bad. Very bad. But his body was already healing. He could feel the strange warmth that came with accelerated healing. The special drugs in his system were working. Every Reaper carried emergency medical nanites in their bloodstream. When serious injury occurred, the nanites activated. They helped repair damage and fight infection until proper medical help arrived. Hanbin needed time. Time to heal enough to move, to find his team, to fight if necessary. He closed his eyes again and focused on his breathing. Slow and steady. Control the body. Control the pain. In another part of the station, Captain Daeho Park sat in a small cell. His wrists were bound with energy cuffs. Across from him sat Lieutenant Commander Krell, the Navorian who had shot Hanbin. "Your silence will not help you," Krell said. "Tell me about Earth's defenses." Daeho said nothing. His emergency beacon was still active. Help would come, he had to buy time. "Your soldier died quickly," Krell continued. "The others will die too if you do not cooperate." "We came in peace," Daeho finally said. "You murdered a diplomatic officer. Without cause." Krell's eyes narrowed. He reached for his weapon. "You asked to see it," Daeho said, anger in his voice. "You planned this, you wanted an excuse." The Navorian stood up. "My leaders have studied your kind for years. Humans expand too quickly. You fight too well. You adapt too fast. You are dangerous." "We just want to coexist," Daeho argued. "No. You will tell us what we need to know, then you will die. Your ship will be destroyed. The Navorian Confederacy will send a message to Earth. Stay in your own space." Krell left the cell. Daeho closed his eyes and pressed his thumb against the small bump under the skin of his wrist. The emergency signal pulsed stronger. Back on the Dauntless, Sungmin's team prepared for insertion. They wore combat suits designed for stealth. Each carried weapons that could kill but were set to stun. Despite the attack on Hanbin, their orders were clear. Minimal casualties. "The station has 214 Navorians aboard," Ji-un reported. Mostly military, some civilian scientists. We avoid civilians, Sungmin reminded everyone. We're not here for revenge, we're here for our people. Even after what they did to Hanbin? Minho asked. Sungmin's face hardened. What they did to Hanbin was a mistake, one they'll soon regret. The team moved to the launch bay. Their small stealth shuttle was ready. As they boarded, Sungmin received one last update from the ship's computer. Hanbin's vital signs are getting stronger, he told the others. He's fighting back. Ji-Yun smiled. Then we better hurry. You know how Hanbin gets when he's angry. The shuttle doors closed. 5 Reapers, the most dangerous human soldiers ever created, headed toward Outpost 47. The Navorians were about to learn an important lesson about humanity. Never leave an enemy alive, especially when that enemy is a Reaper. The stealth shuttle moved silently toward Outpost 47. Inside, 5 Reapers checked their gear one last time. Their black suits absorbed light and heat, making them nearly invisible to most sensors. Approach vector locked, Ji-Yun said as she piloted the craft. Station defenses show no sign of detecting us. Major Sungmin nodded. Remember the mission. Find our people, secure them, and get out. No unnecessary combat. The shuttle docked at an emergency airlock on the station's outer ring. This area was rarely used and had minimal security. Ji-Yun bypassed the simple alarm system with a device that mimicked Navorian security codes. We're in, she whispered as the airlock opened. The Reapers moved into the station in perfect formation. Years of training made them work together like parts of one body. They knew their roles without speaking. Life signs show most Navorians are in the central area, Minho reported, looking at his scanner. Captain Park and the others are being held 2 levels down. Hanbin is 4 levels down in what looks like a storage area. Sungmin made a quick decision. Ji-Eun, take June and head for Hanbin. Minho and Yuri, you're with me. We'll get the captain and the others. The team split up. Ji-Eun and June entered a maintenance shaft that ran between the station's walls. These narrow passages were used by repair robots and were perfect for avoiding detection. Meanwhile, in his cell, Captain Daeho heard footsteps approaching. The door slid open to reveal 2 Navorian guards and Lieutenant Commander Krell. Your time is up, human, Krell said. You will tell us what we want to know, or your medical officer will suffer. Tae-hee was brought in, his face bruised. The guards pushed him to his knees. Leave him alone, Daeho demanded. He's a doctor, not a soldier. Krell made a sound like grinding metal. It might have been a laugh. All humans are potential soldiers. That is what makes your kind dangerous. One guard pointed a weapon at Tae-hee's head. Tell us about Earth's defense systems, Krell ordered. Before Daeho could answer, the lights flickered. A distant alarm sounded briefly, then went silent. Krell touched a device on his arm. Security, report. After a moment of static, he tried again. Security, report now. No answer came. The Navorian's eyes narrowed in suspicion. Check the systems, he ordered, one guard. And bring the communication specialist here as well. The guard left and Krell turned back to Daeho. What is happening? Did your ship follow you here? Daeho's face remained calm, but inside he felt hope rising. I have no idea what you mean. 4 levels below, Hanbin had managed to sit up. The pain was intense, but his body was responding better now. The wound in his chest had partially closed. His damaged lung worked at half capacity. His heart beat stronger. He tried to stand, but fell back. Not ready yet. He needed more time. The door to the storage room suddenly opened. Hanbin tensed, ready to fight despite his weakness. But instead of Navorians, 2 humans in black combat suits entered. Hanbin, Ji-Yeon said, relief in her voice. You look terrible. Hanbin tried to smile. You should see the other guy. June moved quickly to check Hanbin's wound. Impressive. Healing already, but you need medical attention. Can you move? With help, Hanbin admitted. Ji-Yeon handed him a small injector. Combat stim. It will help with the pain and give you energy, but only for about 2 hours. Hanbin pressed the injector against his neck. The effect was immediate. Warmth spread through his body. The pain faded to a dull ache. Strength returned to his limbs. "Let's go find the others," he said, standing up with Jun's help. Meanwhile, Sungmin, Minho, and Yuri had reached the detention level. They moved silently through the corridors, avoiding patrols when possible and quickly subduing any Navorians they couldn't avoid. "2 guards at the main cell block entrance," Minho whispered. Sungmin nodded. "Yuri, create a distraction." Yuri took a small device from his belt and slid it across the floor toward the opposite corridor. It made a soft beeping sound. One guard went to investigate while the other stayed at his post. With incredible speed, Sungmin moved behind the remaining guard and applied pressure to a specific point on the Navorian's neck. The alien collapsed without a sound. Minho dealt with the second guard just as efficiently. Then they were inside the cell block control room. "Captain Park is in cell 7, Minho said, checking the system. Jiwoo is in cell 3. Sungmin opened both cells with a few keystrokes. "Find Tae-hee. He's not here." At that moment, their comm units activated. Ji-eun's voice came through clearly. "We have Hanbin. Moving to your position." "Understood," Sungmin replied. "We have the captain and Ji-woo, but Tae-hee is missing." In the corridor outside the cells, Captain Daeho embraced Ji-woo briefly. "Are you hurt?" She shook her head. "I'm fine." But they took Tae-hee for questioning. "And Hanbin is alive," Sungmin told them. "Ji-eun is bringing him here." Daeho's eyes widened. "Alive? But Krell shot him in the chest. I saw him fall." "He's a Reaper," Sungmin said simply. "Now we need to find Tae-hee and get out of here." Across the station, Lieutenant Commander Krell was growing concerned. Communications were down in several sections. Security teams failed to report in. Something was very wrong. "Take the humans back to their cells," he ordered the remaining guard. "I will check the command center myself." As the guard moved toward Daeho and Tae-hee, the door exploded inward. The guard was thrown against the wall, unconscious before he hit the floor. 3 humans in black combat suits entered the room. Behind them came another figure, walking slowly but steadily. His uniform was torn and bloody. Krell could not believe what he was seeing. "Impossible," he whispered. "I killed you." Hanbin looked at the Navorian, his eyes cold. "You tried." Krell reached for his weapon, but Ji-eun was faster. Her stunner hit the Navorian in the chest. He collapsed, his body twitching from the electrics. "Shock. Tae-hee," Hanbin said, moving to help the medical officer. "Are you okay?" Tae-hee nodded, staring at Hanbin with amazement. "How are you even standing? That shot should have killed you." "I'll explain later," Hanbin said. "We need to move." The reunited team headed for the extraction point. Sungmin took the lead, with Minho and Yuri covering their backs. Ji-eun supported Hanbin, who was growing weaker as the combat stim began to wear off. "Almost there," Sungmin said, as they reached the maintenance shaft that would take them back to the airlock. Suddenly alarms blared throughout the station. A voice spoke in the Navorian language, urgent and commanding. "They've discovered the missing prisoners," Ji-eun translated. "All security forces are mobilizing." "We need to hurry," Sungmin said. "Hanbin, can you make it?" Hanbin nodded, though his face was pale with effort. "Just get us to the shuttle." As they entered the maintenance shaft, the sound of running footsteps echoed behind them. A group of Navorian security officers had found their trail. "Keep going," Sungmin ordered. "I'll slow them down." Before anyone could argue, he turned and took position at the entrance to the shaft. His stunner was in one hand, a small device. In the other, the first Navorian appeared around the corner. Sungmin fired his stunner, dropping the alien instantly. More followed, too many to stun all of them. Sungmin activated the device in his hand and threw it toward the advancing Navorians. It exploded in a blinding flash of light and sound. Not lethal, but extremely disorienting to Navorian senses. He turned and ran, to catch up with the others. They had almost reached the airlock. "Shuttle is ready for immediate departure," Ji-eun reported. One by one, They entered the airlock, and then the shuttle. Hanbin went last, nearly collapsing as the combat stims. Effects faded completely. "Get us out of here," Sungmin ordered as the shuttle detached from the station. The small craft accelerated away from Outpost 47, its stealth systems making it nearly invisible again. Behind them, the station's weapon systems came online, but it was too late. The shuttle was already beyond their effective range. "Set course for the Dauntless," Sungmin said, "and send a message to Earth Command. Tell them the peace mission failed." He looked at Hanbin, who lay on a medical bed as Tai He worked to stabilize him. "And tell them the Navorians have made a serious mistake. They shot one of our Reapers and didn't make sure he stayed dead." Captain Daeho moved to stand beside Sungmin. "What happens now?" Sungmin's expression was grim. "Now they learn why humans are the most dangerous species in the galaxy." The Dauntless moved at high speed away from Outpost 47. In the ship's medical bay, Hanbin lay on a treatment bed. Advanced medical devices worked to repair the damage to his chest. His Reaper-enhanced body was already healing, but the wound had been severe. Tae-hee stood nearby, watching the medical readouts with amazement. "His tissue is regenerating at 10 times the normal rate," he said. "I've never seen anything like it." Captain Daeho nodded. "Because you've never seen a Reaper injured before. They keep their abilities secret for good reason." On the bridge, Major Sung-min reviewed the data they had gathered during the rescue mission. Lieutenant Ji-eun sat at the main control panel, guiding the ship toward Earth space. "We're being followed," she reported. 3 Navorian warships. They're staying just outside weapons range. "They won't attack yet," Sung-min said. "They first want to know how we managed to infiltrate their station so easily." Ji-woo entered the bridge carrying a datapad. "Major, you need to see this. During the escape, I downloaded files from the Navorian system. I think I know why they were so quick to attack us." She handed the pad to Sung-min. He read the information. On the screen, his expression growing serious. "Are you sure this translation is accurate?" "Yes," Ji-woo replied. "I ran it through our systems 3 times to be certain." Sung-min turned to Daeho, who had just arrived on the bridge. "Captain, according to these files, the Navorians have been studying humans for decades. They think we might be descendants of a species called the predecessors." "The predecessors?" Daeho looked confused. "I've never heard of them." "Because no human has," Ji-woo explained. "According to these records, the predecessors were an ancient species that dominated the galaxy long before the Navorian Confederacy formed. They possessed technology far beyond anything that exists today. And they think we're related to them?" Daeho asked. "Based on what evidence?" Ji-woo pointed to the datapad. "Our DNA. The Navorians secretly collected human genetic samples from early exploration missions. They found similarities between human DNA and fragments of predecessor DNA they've discovered on ancient worlds." Sung-min looked thoughtful. "That would explain their fear of us. If humans are indeed descendants of the predecessors, we might eventually reclaim their technology and power." "Is there more in these files about the predecessors?" Daeho asked. "What happened to them?" "They vanished," Ji-woo said. "About 50,000 years ago, they simply disappeared. Some Navorian scientists believe they were destroyed in a war. Others think they left the galaxy. A few suggest they might have gone to a primitive world to start over." "Earth," Daeho whispered. "They think the predecessors came to Earth." Ji-eun suddenly called out from her station. "Major, the Navorian ships are accelerating. They're moving into attack formation." "Battle stations," Sung-min ordered. "Prepare defensive systems." On the largest Navorian ship, Lieutenant Commander Krell stood before the High Commander. His posture showed submission, but his voice was firm. "The humans escaped because they had help from inside," he reported. "A special team of enhanced soldiers. One of them survived a direct hit from my weapon." The High Commander, an older Navorian, with pale blue skin, looked troubled. "This confirms our worst fears. The humans are not just expanding quickly, they are evolving quickly too." "We should destroy their ship," Krell suggested. "Send a message to Earth that they are not welcome in our space." "And if they truly are the predecessors' children?" the High Commander asked. "Would you start a war we cannot win?" Before Krell could answer, an officer approached. "Commander, we are receiving a transmission from the human ship. They wish to speak with you." The High Commander nodded. "Put it on the main screen." Captain Daho's face appeared on the large display. He looked calm and confident. "This is Captain Daho Park of Earth's Interstellar Defense Force. We came to your space in peace. Your officer attacked us without provocation. We defended ourselves and retrieved our people, as is our right." The High Commander stepped forward. "I am High Commander Vex of the Navorian Confederacy. You invaded our station and freed prisoners." "Diplomatic envoys who were illegally detained," Daho corrected. "By the laws of all civilized species, we had every right to rescue them." Vex's eyes narrowed. "One of your soldiers survived a lethal wound. Explain this." Daho smiled slightly. "Humans are resilient. More than you apparently realized." In the medical bay of the Dauntless, Hanbin sat up slowly. His wound was mostly healed now, though he would bear a scar. The advanced medical equipment had accelerated his already enhanced healing abilities. "You should rest more," Taehi advised. "No, time," Hanbin said. "I need to get to the bridge." When he arrived, Daho was still speaking with the Navorian commander. Hanbin moved to stand beside the captain, making sure the Navorians could see him on their screen. High Commander Vex visibly reacted. "Impossible. Krell reported a direct hit to your vital organs." "He hit me," Hanbin agreed, touching his chest. "But your weapons are not as effective against humans as you thought." "What are you?" Krell demanded, stepping into view. "Just a human," Hanbin replied. "Perhaps you should have studied us more carefully before attacking." Daho raised his hand. "For silence." "We know why you fear us, Commander Vex. We've seen your files about the predecessors." The Navorian command center grew very quiet. Vex stared at the screen for a long moment before speaking. "What do you intend to do with this information?" "That depends on you," Daho said. "We came seeking peace, we still do. But we will not tolerate unprovoked attacks on our people." Jiwoo stepped forward. "We propose a meeting, a real one this time, on neutral ground with proper security for both sides. We should discuss this predecessor matter openly, not through violence." Vex seemed to consider this. "You would still seek peace after what happened?" "Violence is easy," Daho said. "Peace is harder. Humans understand this well. If we are descended from these predecessors as you believe, wouldn't you rather have us as allies than enemies?" The High Commander turned to speak quietly with his advisors. After a brief discussion, he faced the screen again. "We will consider your proposal. Until then, you may return to Earth space unharmed." "And the other members of the Confederacy?" Daho asked. "Will they honor this agreement?" "I will inform them of our discussion," Vex promised. "Most will follow my recommendation." "Most?" Sung-min asked sharply. "Some fear humans too much already," Vex admitted. "The evidence of your predecessor heritage has caused debate within our Confederacy. Not all agree on how to respond. Then, we should work quickly to establish better understanding," Daho suggested, "before fear leads to more violence." The conversation ended, and the Navorian ships moved away. They maintained a following position but at a greater distance. "Do you think they're sincere?" Ji-won asked. Daho shrugged. "Some are, perhaps. Others will need more convincing." Hanbin looked at the retreating Navorian ships on the view screen. "They shot me because they're afraid of what humans might become. Seeing me alive probably didn't help with that fear." "Fear can lead to respect," Sung-min pointed out. "And respect can lead to peace." Daho turned to Jiwoo. "Prepare a full report for Earth Command. Include everything we've learned about these predecessors. If there's truth to this connection, we need to understand it." As the Dauntless continued its journey home, Hanbin found himself thinking about the implications. If humans were indeed descendants of an ancient advanced species, what did that mean for their future? Were the special abilities of Reapers not just the result of science, but something awakened from dormant genes? We still need to be cautious, he said to Daeho. The Navorians might be retreating now, but their fear won't disappear so easily. No, Daeho agreed. But now they know that attacking humans has consequences. You showed them that, Hanbin. One Reaper was enough to make them reconsider their approach. Hanbin touched his healing wound. They shot me and watched me bleed. They thought that was the end of it. Their mistake, Sungmin said, was not making sure you stayed dead. Earth Command would need to be prepared. The galaxy had just become more complicated. If humans were truly children of the predecessors, other species would react with fear, respect, or hostility. Some would seek alliance, others would seek destruction. But one thing was now clear to all. Humans were not to be underestimated, especially not the ones called Reapers. 1 month had passed since the incident at Outpost 47. The Dauntless had returned to Earth, bringing its crew and the shocking information about the predecessors. Earth Command had moved quickly. Plans were made, messages were sent. Now, a new meeting was about to take place. Captain Daeho Park stood on the bridge of Earth's largest diplomatic vessel, the Harmony. Through the main view screen, he watched as ships from 7 different species approached the meeting point. The Navorian Confederacy had agreed to talks, this time with proper security for all sides. Nervous? Hanbin asked, coming to stand beside him. Daeho smiled. A little. Last time didn't go so well for you. Hanbin touched his chest. The wound had healed completely, leaving only a faint scar. I plan to stay away from energy weapons. This time, Major Sungmin entered the bridge. All security measures are in place. We have 50 Reapers on board, though only 10 will be visible during the talks. The rest remain in reserve. Let's hope we don't need them, Daeho said. The meeting would take place on the Harmony itself. The ship was large enough to accommodate representatives from all species comfortably. More importantly, as Earth territory, it gave humans a psychological advantage. After what happened at Outpost 47, Earth Command wanted to show strength alongside willingness for peace. The Navorian ship is approaching the docking port, Jiun reported from her station. Daeho nodded. Let's go greet our guests. At the main docking area, Daeho, Sungmin, and Hanbin waited as the airlock opened. High Commander Vex entered first, followed by several other Navorians, including Lieutenant Commander Krell. The Navorians moved, cautiously, their 4 legs making soft clicking sounds on the floor. Welcome to the Harmony, Daeho said formally. We appreciate your willingness to meet with us. Vex nodded his head in the Navorian gesture of respect. We come seeking understanding, Captain Park. Krell's eyes found Hanbin. The Navorian seemed uncomfortable. You have recovered fully, he observed. Yes, Hanbin said simply. He did not smile or frown. His face showed no emotion at all as he looked at the alien who had shot him. The group moved to the conference room. Representatives from the other 6 species of the Confederacy were already there. Each looked different from the others. Some had scales, some had fur. Some walked on 2 legs, others on 6. All watched the humans with obvious curiosity and varying degrees of fear. Daeho took his place at the head of the table. Jiwoo sat to his right, ready to assist with translations if needed. Sungmin and Hanbin stood behind them, a clear reminder of human strength. Before we begin formal talks, Daeho said, I want to address the information we discovered at Outpost 47. You believe humans may be descendants of the species you call predecessors. Vex looked surprised. You are direct, Captain. Humans often are, Daeho replied. We prefer to address important matters openly. The High Commander's 3-fingered hands made a spreading gesture. Yes, our scientists have studied this theory for many years. The genetic similarities are too great to ignore. Jiwoo activated a display in the center of the table. We've reviewed your data and compared it with our own genetic records. There are indeed similarities, though the connection is very old. If humans are descended from the predecessors, the separation happened at least 40,000 years ago. One of the other representatives, a reptilian alien with golden scales, leaned forward. This is why we feared your kind. The predecessors created technology that could reshape planets, harness the energy of stars, and travel between galaxies. If you reclaim such knowledge— We have no such technology now, Deho pointed out. We are still new to interstellar travel compared to your species. But you advance quickly, Krell said. Too quickly. No other species has moved from primitive flight to faster-than-light travel in less than 500 years. Humans did it in 100. Hanbin spoke for the first time. And that scared you enough to shoot a diplomatic envoy? Krell looked down. I acted based on fear and limited information. I was wrong. The admission surprised everyone. Navorians rarely admitted mistakes, especially to species they considered less advanced. Vex continued. After seeing what happened at Outpost 47, 3 members of our Confederacy immediately called for peace talks. They recognized that conflict with humans would be costly. And the others? Sungmin asked. 2 still believe humans are a threat that should be contained, Vex admitted. The remaining 2 have withdrawn from discussions until they can assess the situation further. Deho nodded. This matched Earth's intelligence reports. We did not come into space looking for enemies. We came seeking knowledge, trade, and peaceful relations. Whether or not we are descended from these predecessors doesn't change that goal. But it changes how others will see you, said a small, furry representative. Some will fear you. Others will seek alliance with you. Some may even worship you as the children of the ancients. We want none of those things, Deho said firmly. We want to be treated as equals, no more and no less. Discussions continued for hours. Technical details were shared. Historical records were compared. By the end of the day, a preliminary agreement had been reached. The Navorian Confederacy would officially recognize Earth and begin formal diplomatic relations. Research would be shared regarding the predecessor connection. Most importantly, there would be peace. As the meeting ended, Krell approached Hanbin. The 2 stood apart from the others. I must ask, the Navorian said quietly. How did you survive? Hanbin considered his answer carefully. Humans are more resilient than you realized. Some of us more than others. You are not like other humans, Krell observed. I have studied the records. You are something called a Reaper. Hanbin's expression remained neutral. That information is not part of the official sharing agreement. No, Krell agreed. But I would be a poor officer if I did not investigate the human who survived my weapon. And what did you learn? Enough to know that attacking humans was a grave mistake. One that I personally will not repeat. When the Navorian representatives had returned to their ship, Deho found Hanbin looking out a viewport at the stars. Thinking about the predecessors? Deho asked. Hanbin shook his head. Thinking about us, humans. If we are their descendants, what does that mean for our future? It means we have big shoes to fill, Deho said. But we'll do it our way, not theirs. On the bridge, Ji-un monitored communications from across the galaxy. News of the meeting was spreading fast. Some reacted with fear, others with interest. Many smaller species were already requesting their own meetings with Earth representatives. It's working, she told Sungmin. The display of strength combined with willingness to talk has made an impression. Sungmin nodded. The Navorians learned an important lesson. They shot one of us and watched him bleed. They thought that was enough to stop us. Their mistake, Ji-un said with a smile. In the weeks that followed, Earthships moved more freely through Navorian space. Research teams from both sides began working together to study predecessor artifacts found on distant worlds. Trade agreements were drafted. Military forces maintained a respectful distance from each other. And throughout the galaxy, a story spread. A story about a human who was shot by a Navorian officer and survived. Some versions claimed he was immortal. Others said his blood was made of living metal. The most common version simply said that humans were harder to kill than anyone had realized. 6 months after the incident, Hanbin was promoted to captain and given command of his own ship. As he prepared for his first mission, Deho came to see him off. How's the chest? Deho asked. Hanbin smiled. Good as new. Reaper enhancements have their benefits. The Navorians still ask about you sometimes. Deho told him. I think Krell has nightmares about you coming back to life. Good, Hanbin said. Let him remember what happens when you shoot a human and don't make sure they stay dead. Especially when that human is a Reaper, Deho added. Hanbin's new ship, appropriately named Phoenix, departed Earth the next day. Its mission was to explore beyond known space, to find new species and new worlds, to represent humanity to the galaxy. As the Phoenix entered faster than light travel, Hanbin looked at the stars streaking past on the view screen. Whether humans were truly descendants of the predecessors or not, they had earned their place among the stars. Not through ancient heritage, but through their own strength, resilience, and determination. The galaxy was changing, a new order was forming, and humanity would help shape it, one step at a time. The end.